people and remains accountable to the people through Parliament. Initially, we had a little bit of a struggle on the process of appointment of the Inspector General of Police. I was present in the 11th Parliament when we were struggling to interpret the Constitution. And we got to the conclusion that the Inspector General of Police is such an important position that the vetting and appointment must be processed by is such an important position that the vetting and appointment must be processed by Parliament to ensure from EACC. Governors come here and we unveil instances and incidences, criminal acts, because they are criminal because they are defined as offenses in the penal code and in statute. Kenyans are frustrated. They say Senate is just making noise. All the things that they are talking about, nothing is happening. No one is being investigated. No one is being prosecuted. No one is being convicted. Of course, we must educate Kenyans that there is that separation. In the past, we would forward matters to you. We would expect you to investigate. We would expect you to prosecute and wait for the judiciary to convict. So things have changed. So there is that frustration. And I think that in this open conversation, we would like to get your thoughts on how do we ensure that when Parliament makes recommendations on matters that border on criminality, how can we interface with the National Police Service, the DCI, to ensure that Kenyans feel like some action has been taken? Because we as Senate, we cannot investigate, we cannot prosecute, we cannot, arrest people. Secondly, there are a few governors who have decided that they will not come before Parliament, which is a constitutional obligation and a constitutional duty. And we are put in law under the Powers and Privileges Act that where someone summoned fails to appear, there could be recourse to fines, or Parliament may request the IG of police to arrest and produce that person. How do we effectively make use of that provision? I know that the first recourse should be to build strong intergovernmental relations between the Senate and even that institution called the Council of Governors, so that there's an understanding that appearing before this committee is a constitutional obligation. But where a few governors do not understand and do not care about the Constitution, how can the Senate partner with the National Police Service to enforce the attendance of witnesses? So I think these are perhaps two of the key issues that could be the starting point of our conversation, how we can partner to deal with criminality in counties, because the DCI, I think, is under your purview, and how we can partner to enforce the attendance and appearance of witnesses before this committee. Honorable members, I was just laying the background. I know we didn't field specific questions to the IG to respond. If I've left out something, I would allow the members to emphasize. And IG also, if you have anything in terms of a written response, it can be circulated. Members, anything supplementary? Or maybe we can get the IG to respond. And then we can respond to his submission. relation between EACC and DCI.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Chair and honorable members,
and those instances are very, very many, and they are captured, some of them are captured in our audit reports. But now we end up prescribing or recommending action without the benefit of maybe benefiting from further investigations by the DCI. And you've touched on a matter that is very dear to the people of Kitui County. The banning of documents, finance documents, under the administration of a former governor, Charity Ngilu. And that matter was being investigated by the DCI. That matter was flagged by the Auditor General. But we've never had a conversation with the DCI, with the NPS, on where we are. With a matter like that, where documents for an entire financial year go up in flames, of course, to cover up on some theft. So Chair, I think we should now move from theory to reality, to practice. Best still required to do so by the Senate committee. And I'm making reference, Chair, to the recommendation that was made by this committee to the Inspector General of Police in relation to the Governor of Samburu, so that we deal with real issues. I thank you, Chair.
Okay. Please, I just senators to respond, and you'll respond at once. Senator Kongo Morgan.
Yes, Chair. First, I want to begin by commending very strongly. I want to commend the IG very, very strongly for, demonstrating before us that he is willing to uphold the rule of law, and for demonstrating to us that no public official is above accountability. You know, really that's a joy for me this morning, that we have an IG who is willing to tell the country that under his watch, no public official will be above accountability. That is commendable. And I'm proud that when he was vetted, I was on the floor and I voted to have him take that seat of IG. That is really commendable. You know, that commitment, Chair, helps us to build integrity in our institutions and to also have a constitutional order. Because if we don't have a country that respects rule of law, we'll have chaos. We will have chaos. If we open it up and say it's free soko, free for all, do what you want, obey no law, there will be no country. So that's commendable. And you know, he has put it in writing before us, before this house. He has put it on record that under his watch, and nobody will be above the law. I think that's really commendable, and I want to thank him, because accountability, Chair, is the foundation of our democracy. If we don't have accountability, there will be no democracy at all. So I think that is good. We should not even spoil the menu. He has presented it, cooked very nicely. Let's not mess it up. That is good. It's agreed. Excellent. The only thing we will do is now to internally develop good working relationship with his office. But the second one, Chair, which has been a problem for this committee, and for once, me, I want to speak now as I don't want to talk as a politician. I want to speak as a person who is patriotic, who loves my country. If you sit in this committee, IG, it's a frustration day in, day out. The reports that we receive from the gentleman to our right, these auditors, the kind of plundering of public resources at our counties makes us feel like we should be crying here every day. So when you put it in writing in point 3.4, that you're also willing to take up investigation of these cases, that is our joy as a committee. Because we want to see action that can act as a deterrence. And I was reading the Constitution in Article 244, and it says the functions and objects of the National Police Service is to prevent corruption. That's your mandate. Yes. To prevent corruption. Yes. It's your mandate. So even if we have EACC, Kenyans deemed it fit to put it there that your mandate should be to prevent corruption, to promote practices of transparency and accountability. So you are our greatest partner as a committee. And there is no way we can hold anybody accountable unless they appear before us. We give them a chance to tell us their story before we forward the files to you. So I really hope, IG, you can agree that we partner. Our auditors are not politicians. They are the ones who look at the books. They bring the books to us and say, look at what has happened in County A. And we are looking after 47, so nobody should say we are doing politics. I have no interest of vying to be governor in Homa Bay. So if I get a report from Homa Bay, I look at it very objectively, or from McQueen. So let us build on this 3.4, that you can take some of the cases that you can investigate. Can I give you an example? World Bank has flagged 2 counties, County of Kajiado, County of Nyamira. And people holding very high offices, I think CS Treasury is a very senior person, has written to those counties and frozen their accounts. They have written to this committee. There is a letter on record from the PS to us, telling us, look at the plundering of public resources that has taken place at these 2 counties. And how do we look before the eyes of the World Bank that they are coming to help us, to help our people? And we just decided to take those resources, put them in our pockets, create millionaires, and nothing happens. A letter was written to EACC in September. Nothing has happened. Let's begin from there. We partner with the IG. Let him go and do investigations. We can never direct his office. Nobody can say it is politics. Let him do his investigations. If he recommends prosecution, we'll take it up with the DPP. So, Chair, to be brief, me, I'm happy with this engagement. Our good win today is willing to help us on accountability and is willing to partner with us. Let's give him good files where we see that evidence has been presented to us on plundering of resources at our counties. I yield.
Thank you. I think your point is, let's not squander the goodwill. Yes. We have an IG who's willing to work and partner with Parliament. Let's not squander it. Yes. Let's put it into action. Yes. Okay, Senator Gatai.
Quickly, Chair. Chair, I think I'm impressed because I think IG, I'm happy that I voted for the right person in the floor of the House. This is very impressive. You know, with when I went through your submission, it built a lot of confidence in me that we are partners in fighting impunity. Yes. And make sure that we entrench accountability in this country. IG, we have been around for some time. Our prosecutors are the auditors, just like in the police context, where the prosecutors will just parade a convict before a court of law. And we have seen some very serious cases in various counties where public resources have been squandered, reps light. And I think I would request maybe the committee through some provisions. We marry the idea of Senator Wambua, where we are supposed to incorporate the DCI, the way we have brought on board the EACC and the Treasury. Because there are some cases that border strictly on criminality. I remember sometimes we went to a certain county that I don't want to mention. Actually, the chair and the committee declared that county a crime scene. Because nothing could be accounted for. Millions and billions of money that have been put in that county for very many years. So we only witnessed some white elephant projects. And this suspect are going scot-free.
And they serve the law. So I believe whatever a cognizable offense is committed, I think the IG should just do their job. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Senator Manzo. Senator Cherargei.
Thank you, Chair. I want to commend the IG for appearing, because all of us took the same oath to uphold and protect the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. While I have noted your submissions before the committee, and we agree all of us must be accountable at any level, whether at the police level, as leaders, and any critical. And Chair, there is a small matter where interesting characters within county government ban documents, and I think we have heard of Kitui, Nyamira, and I think another county. There was a county from northern Kenya, was it Garissa, who told us that the flood waters had taken their documents, which is very interesting. My only IG, you have a unit called Critical Infrastructure Protect Police Unit, SIPO. I don't know, do you normally collaborate with these county governments to protect most of this installation and infrastructure so that these arsonists do not have a field day of destroying documents, which are very critical? Number one, during the investigation, do you participate in reconstructing some of these documents together with ESCC and DCI? And third, these people that you have, can we sometimes assist our sergeant at arms to restrain some of the governors? When things get too hot, they run away. Like Tarakaniti Governor Mutomi, he came here, made the documents, but when he heard the room was getting too hot, he ran away. Can we also request SIPO to assist our sergeant at arms to restrain witnesses who would want to run away from accountability? And I've given you an example, and you can even review within the CCTV. And thank God we have a police unit. So can you assist us with that? Finally, Chair, I've sat in this audit committee. The account is IG, and you need just maybe county government, and I think you are aware of this issue, where they are paying, including double salary to the police officers, paying outside allowances. What is the position as the Inspector General of Police? Are you aware of such things? Because the OAG, Patrick is here, can confirm there are some counties who pay more than allowances because, of course, it's allowed by the law, but sometimes they do double salary because on that. And finally, I thought, IG, maybe you can share with us your experience. This fight against corruption and the push for accountability is a responsibility of all of us. We have ESCC, we have DCI, of course, which is part of you. We have the ODPP and the judiciary. Chair, I'm aware there is always a colloquium of administrative of justice. Have you sit? Do you think, what do you think we should do to counties? Because you have had sign a communique yesterday that they will never appear before this committee because of the timeline of 31st March. The chair and the committee, out of wisdom, has realized that we issue summonses pronto. Do you have enough manpower to frog march or bring the governors who will defy the summonses of this committee and in good time to allow us to interrogate them, write our reports, make recommendations, process them to EACC? Or you want us to request for more allocation in supplementary budget to add more police officers to frog march
Senator,
the fugitive of justice? Chair, can I finish this very pregnant and critical point?
Summarize.
I know you will say...
We have another meeting after this.
Chair, I know you will say he needs more resources, so I am also picking his mind that a supplementary budget is coming. Should we add more resources for him to get more police officers to bring fugitive of justice and accountability? Who are the governors? I yield back.
Thank you. Members, there are things we will not discuss in this committee, particularly rumors and allegations that are flying in the digital space, social media, until they are properly processed by Parliament. And so we don't necessarily have to put the IG to task on that. Secondly, specific audit observations. Perhaps we might want to do a formal communication on the specific areas for you to respond. But listening to my colleagues, maybe I might summarize before you respond that what we are looking for is a professional and respectful relationship between the service and Parliament. And you have already made that commitment. It is a commitment that is in writing. In fact, maybe one day we might need to ask the IG to just appear before the whole House and make that commitment. Because I think the last time you came before the whole House, we had a small Song of Solomon's, chapter 2, verse 15, says, "Now therefore, catch for us the foxes, the little foxes that ruin the vineyards, our vineyards that are in bloom. Now therefore, catch for us the foxes, the little foxes that ruin our vineyards." These little foxes sit in the Council of Governors. They sit in county governments, they sit in public offices, they sit in state offices. You have dealt with the hardcore criminals. We appreciate you for that. Now, therefore, catch for us the little foxes. IG, you may respond.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. I have listened very, very carefully to the Honorable Members. The issues that have actually been raised